warm. And the problem is the dew points have come back up. It's kind of sticky outside, right? It doesn't feel like a fall morning by any means. And we are going to have another above average day. And this is kind of cool. We've put it all on a calendar for you so you can see that every single day this month has been above average, and some days really above average. Those are the ones in the darker orange. These are the high temperatures. The number you see is the high temperature, and you look how high the high temperatures have been, and the low temperatures have been warm as well. And so when you average it all out, it averages out to on pace to be our warmest September on record. New York City, Boston, Maine, we've got Caribou on the list as well. Let's take a look at New York for your forecast today. If you forget, we should be about 70. That's our average high this time of year. You have not even taken the boots out of your storage yet. You have been wearing the flip-flops, the sandals, and you will again today with temperatures heading to the 80s. We've got a warm, muggy start this morning, honestly, for a lot of us. 69 in D.C., 68 in Philly. That east wind is keeping us very socked in right there in Philly and in New York City this morning with the mist and with the clouds. But when you break out, it's going to warm up. Then we're going to watch the warm air that's in the Midwest move in, but we're also going to watch the rain at the same time move up to the northeast. So the spots that are going to be cooler than average today in the south and the mid-Atlantic are spots that are going to be cloudy and rainy, and that's where temperatures will be below average. So let's see what happens in the northeast. Today we're above average. New York, we got 80, we got 82 in D.C., 76 in Worcester. That is 13 degrees above average. We're going to stay above average again tomorrow, but then two things coming at us by the end of the week. One is a front that's coming in from the Midwest. Another one is going to be that rain coming in from the south, Chris. So by the time we get the clouds and the front and everything, it'll knock our temperatures down in the northeast by the end of the week. All right, so we've been watching the beaches, and we're going to take a look at the North Carolina coast, specifically around Kill Devil Hills. Look at these waves just churning in. And this has been the story all weekend. This persistent onshore flow has pushed the waves up, pushed all the water onshore. And, you know, from this vantage point, from this camera, it's hard to really see what's happening on the shore. But we've seen a lot of pictures of erosion. Over the weekend, the ferries were shut down, the closure of Highway 12 for a while as there was overwash. The first ferries are just started about 30 minutes ago. And so, of course, it's been a big concern all weekend, right? But the pattern is not changing. We still have onshore flow. You know, we still have this strong high pressure out here well off the coast of Canada, but we also have Tropical Depression 11 out here as well, and it's all about that flow, that air getting funneled right towards the shore and the winds pushing the water right towards the shore. That's going to continue to cause problems. When it comes to coastal flooding, we'll have those concerns, again, especially at the time of high tide. The rip current risk is still going to be there, all the way from the Outer Banks straight up through the Jersey Shore and even to the beaches of Long Island. And then, of course, we've got around the time of high tide, the concern about coastal flooding. We've seen it happening. Again, high tide coming in about 8:30 tonight around the Virginia Beach area. And so that's the time you got to watch roads right along any of the waterways. And also, of course, if you have a home there, you might be looking at some water getting in. So let's take a look at what's going on with the rip current risk. It's highest from the Outer Banks right up through the coast of Maryland, Delaware, and then up to the Jersey Shore. But we also have that moderate risk here on the coast of Long Island and then also into some of the southern New England beaches as well. The winds have been just relentless. That east wind, I always say there's nothing good about the east wind. And if you were trying to get any time outside this weekend on the beach, you can blame the east wind for not letting you do that. Winds are gusting to nearly 26 miles per hour right now at Cape Hatteras. The waves have been up. In fact, boaters, you haven't been able to get out there. Waves have been easily 8 to 11 feet, and that's the case right now. You can see this one buoy reporting over an 8-foot wave. So Norfolk, Virginia, that's going to be our problem again today. But then the next concern is that we bring more rain back into the picture Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Very windy, very rainy. It's a very interesting pattern setting up for the end of the week. And Chris, you know, we're watching a front coming in. We're watching tropical moisture, maybe another low forming off the coast. Just the end of the week, a mess in the Mid-Atlantic.
Yeah, and this is coming in
last night. These are the folks taking pictures of it, but there it was.
It's cool.
In all its red beauty. All right. Right now, though, let's go over to Jim Cantore wearing his red tie.
Jenny,
what's your deal?
I like home fries.
So that's just complete pass.
I might scrape off the holidays and eat the egg whites.
Have you ever had hollandaise?
Yes, I don't like it.
Okay, that's fair enough. I mean, you know what? This is a woman who knows what she likes, so fair enough.
Wow.
I don't like whipped cream, so a lot of people go like, what? How could you not like whipped cream?
Right.
So
Yeah, no, we all have our things.
To each his own, absolutely.
Yeah, I like everything that's normal in this world.
Chris, you can have your coffee, your coconut water, he's good to go.
Because you're normal and we're not. Okay.
All right, so not loving your weather today is you here in the Gulf Coast. We've got a lot of rain to talk about. We're going to keep on focusing on your weather because it is impacting your drive this morning. There are spots that have been flooded. Let's take a look. Some of the totals. Mobile, 7+ inches, almost 8. Pascagoula, Mississippi, almost 8. Gulf Shores, Alabama, coming in at close to 5. And Beaumont, Texas, also Pensacola, the rain has been adding up as well. So let's talk about the forecast and what's coming your way. We've got more rain again today in Mobile. Temperatures in the 70s, very humid, very sticky. And then another shot of showers coming in on Wednesday. As we look at the radar, and Jim's been doing a great job this morning of keeping a close eye on the radar, there are 2 separate areas that we're focusing on. One is what's happening here from Pensacola, say all the way over close to Tampa, but not yet in Tampa, where we've got some rain just offshore. This is because of that invest that we're watching and the moisture coming in and continue to pump northward up towards Montgomery. Get ready, you're about to get some rain. But then also there's another area of low pressure that we've been tracking, both an upper level low and a surface low that's been developing here. And so you can see two areas, one right off the coast of Galveston. Take a look out there over the Gulf, one area of showers and storms, and then another one moving moisture up into Louisiana. So closer view around Pensacola. It's north of town right now where the thunder and lightning is, but still the moisture coming on in. Flood watches are up, as you can imagine. It's been just so saturated here lately, and there is a couple of days worth of rain expected. Just a lot of moisture flowing in. Here's the low, pumping in the moisture, and it's not just the low-level flow, the mid-level flow moving in the moisture as well. So we are going to continue to see a wet forecast. And here's the thing, it's a weak low pressure. Sometimes if you have a stronger one that's on the move, it makes a difference, right? But this one is just going to help move in the moisture, and we will be watching for rain in the forecast, some heavy at times. This is how the model pans it out through today and tonight. Showers continuing off and on. It looks like the heaviest stuff is earlier in the day, but then we'll see more of a widespread showery type event by the time we get into Tuesday. Chris, so we got a lot of rain in the south and eventually into the mid-Atlantic and northeast.
Oh, yeah, I see that. Some cold, longer nights, cooler mornings.
Fall definitely is a foggy season for sure. But look at St. Louis right now. We are socked in. And I've been looking at your observations everywhere from the Midwest to the southeast to the east. We got just a lot of fog and low clouds and mist.
Can you see the arch?
No. Well, yes.
Oh, right there.
Right there. There's a little bit of, you can see the base of it, but that's it. Phew. So you are in the clouds this morning. You're in the fog. Visibility about a quarter mile right now. There could be a couple of showers out there, a little bit of mist or drizzle. Today, as we talk about your temperatures, though, across the Midwest, you're still thinking summer-like. Look at St. Louis, 84, 81 tomorrow. It's not until Wednesday, till a front comes in, that we feel like fall. And it's been a warm, long stretch for us here. It's been a couple of weeks where temperatures have been running above average. So here is the front, and the showers associated with the front are just behind the front. That is going to bring the temperature change. It will also bring a little bit of rain, and we're seeing that out there right now. Here's the front itself. Ahead of it, got lots of warm air still lingering. I know it's pretty humid and pretty cloudy this morning, pretty foggy, but if that breaks, you'll get temperatures to really warm up. But there is some cold air on the move, and there's a spot up here in southern Saskatchewan where temperatures are in the 20s. Yep, 20 degrees. Dew points in the 20s too, so very dry air. So that's the kind of air that's coming in. It's not going to be that cold, but it is much cooler than it's been, and we will be looking for big changes coming middle of this week. All right, let's send it back over to Jim Cantori for a look at football. But it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So we're going to hit 100 again today and tomorrow. The streak continues. Let's take a look at some of the warmth and records that we've seen across the West. Casper, Wyoming, we hit 89 degrees. That tied the old record. We also either tied or broke a record in Cheyenne, in Toole, in Colorado Springs, Colorado yesterday. It was hot in parts of the West. We saw it from Wyoming back down through Utah into Arizona, Nevada, Las Vegas. We were 100 plus and will be again. Take a look at Phoenix. Today we're going 104, tomorrow 105, 106, 107, 102. So even though today is our average last day of 100 degrees, it's not going to happen. And by the way, the latest on record was at the end of October. So So it's not the latest on record either. But we've had this heat, and it's going to persist for a few more days. We've had our jet stream here well to the north. It is making a dip, and so when it does, then we'll finally get a break from the heat, especially across portions of the upper Midwest and the northern Rockies. You're already seeing it. Parts of Oregon right now. We got temperatures in the 20s this morning. So it's not everyone in the west, but it's especially in the southwest that we remain above average, and New Mexico and into Colorado, we're going to see temperatures really on the warm side. So take a look. Today we've got 87 in Reno, 84 in Salt Lake City. That's above average. We'll come close to record breaking in Salt Lake City this week. 85 degrees for you. Vegas, it has been hot. 101 again. That's 12 degrees above average. Denver's on the warm side. We're in the 80s on Wednesday. And Chris, this trend continues as we see the warmth continue in the west, and then the east gets to cool down.
All right.
We take you to Taiwan and take a look at this very powerful wind and wave suspended ahead of the storm, as you can imagine. Jim Cantori standing by in the lab with more on this. Jim Cantori, thank you. We know you're on top of it, and we are too here at AMHQ.
Again, when Jim says could be a big story in the future, it's definitely something to pay attention to. Weather Center Live is coming up next. Kay Parker, Jennifer Lopez are going to take things away.
All right, that's coming up after your local on the 8s. Have a great day, everyone.